Hello, hello, happy Friday. How are we all? Make sure Bailey's fully on camera. There we go. You got the dog face and the dog butt. Lucky, lucky you. Hello. It's been a hell of a week. Damn. Lots of fun stuff, but very, very tiring stuff. So, it is nice chill out Friday stream. We're painting a new model. It's not new on the website, although I put it in the new section because I feel like it goes there now. So yeah, nice chilled out stream. Who have we got in chat? We got Danny Player One. We've got Brannigan's brushes. Oh, suits you, sir. That is a callback to Twitch and the Twitch streaming days. All you new people watching won't know what the hell I just did. Trust me, it was funny. Rocky Art, hello. Welcome in, everyone. What do you mean I'm late? I'm not late. I'm precisely when I mean to arrive, which is about a minute ago. So, yeah. Should we have a look at what's... No, first of all, I'll tell you about the week. So, Damn, the 3D printing workshop has been expanded just a little bit. So I went up last Saturday. I went up to Wales. Obviously, I'm not going to say exactly where, but I went and visited Nalindi, who is a streamer over on Twitch and content creator. And because they very, very kindly gave me a load of 3D printers, which are exactly the same type that I use. So I did Wales and back in a day, which was long, and came back with printers, 3D printers, wash and cure machines, all the bells and whistles to go with them. So that means I had to make space for them and expand the workshop, get new racking in, sort out kind of how I was going to power all this lot. But we're almost there. Everything's in place, and over the weekend I'm going to sort the power out and plug everything in and get it going. But yeah, production from the 3D printing point of view has pretty much doubled. It has actually literally doubled for resin printing. So, assuming that everything they print fine, which I'm sure they will. I need to do the tests, but yeah, that's a whole thing. So I've been running around all week doing that, and trying to catch up with all the regular stuff. So yeah, I'm tired, but we're going to start a new model. What are we going to start? Well, I'll show you. It's a headless bust. Yay! So this is Real the Descended, which is totally not based off a very popular, let's say, series that begins with H and ends in H. You might not be... I've sprayed black. It will be obvious. This model is available on the website. If it's not obvious, then let's just say that Real is related to maybe the Red Prince. That is another bust that is also available on the website. So, this one is new. And these were cleaned up today. I only just managed to get these done in time. So, yeah. Should we get painting? Should we start? How is everyone? How was everyone's week? I'm already too hot. Ugh, right. So I debated. Let's go sit cross-legged for a Friday chill-out stream. I debated spraying this white, doing a zenithal, but actually I want to have a bit more control. So we're going to dry brush with our makeup brushes. So we're going to take our Pro Acrylic Bold Titanium Wood, which this is almost out, but fortunately I've got another one. Danny, tired AF, so of course I'm signing up to the gym today. That makes sense. I can see the sense. when you gym, when you do the no, I'm fully out of paint on that one. Okay, never mind. On to this one. You'll have more energy. You know, when you're exercising and moving. Oh, is there a? I'm not sure there's an agitator in here. That's concerning. BS. It's not BS. It is the true. I do speak the true. Ah, do these have a thingy on them? Is it gonna blow up in my face? Ah ha ha! Oh god, I'm gonna open it away from me. Careful. Yes. And now I have white paint. Cool. Right. If you spend energy, you have less energy. It's the law. Yeah, but your overall energy reserves will go up. That's biology. Take it from someone who got a D in biology GCSE. Yeah, that's right. I'm giving you my grades. Right. What do you mean, Lissai? I didn't take French. Although I'm learning Italian right now. I've started Duolingo and I'm learning Italian. Because I like Italy. And I'd love to go back there at some point. And I want to, when I do, I don't want to be a complete tourist. So, we're going to dry brush. That's a little bit too much paint. We're going to do an overall dry brush. And then we'll go in with details and pick out the more extreme details and where I want the light. Mamma mia, mozzarella, gorgonzola, ragazzi, paparazzi, limoncello. Yeah, see, Danny speaks Italian as well. I have to admit, not to advertise Duolingo, I historically have been absolutely rubbish at learning languages, and I think I'm doing all right. I'm quite happy with how I'm picking it up. I never thought I'd pick it up that, I didn't say easily, but that quickly. So it's a really good system. Sponsor me, Duolingo. I didn't know you were fluent in Italian. I mean, I'm convinced, right? Reckon we can hear some of this Italian. On the spot. On the spot. Salve, il sono Jamie. No, I can't say that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I can say my name is Jamie, which I wasn't able to do before, so learnt something. Yeah, and I know how to offer. The first lesson that you know is like how to order a coffee and how to like survive in a coffee shop. It's the one place I'll never be. You'll never find me in a coffee shop. So thanks, first lesson. I forgot that. Sorry, yeah, I forgot the. I didn't want to too stereotypical, but yes, I forgot the hands. It's very true. If you can order food and drink, you'll survive Italy. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Throwing back to when I went traveling round Europe, and I was hitting, you know, a different country every 4 days, so it was hard to pick up languages. But I did feel like such a tourist, especially when you have kind of other Europeans who live in like mainland Europe, you know what I mean, where they've kind of grown up learning other languages, and in England we're rubbish. We are so ignorant of other languages here. I just felt awful. I was in Italy. You were in Italy last week. You were. How was that tournament, Danny? Did you have fun? I know how the tournament was, but did you have fun? Does anyone know how to say 11:15 in French? I don't. I vaguely remember some phrases in French, but that's about it. Had a lot of fun. Went 2-1, which is not too bad. But yeah, tough opponents. Oh, 2-1's pretty good. From what you told me, you just lost a lot, but that's not bad. Oh, hello. That's a little bit too much white. Bran, what have you been working? Oh, no, I know what you've been working on. I saw your Death Guard the other day. Oh, damn, they bright. They're incredibly vibrant. Yes, please, more of that. Something, if you're talking, like, with vibrancy... you've probably already seen me shout about it, but get some fluorescent pigment. It doesn't have to be Green Stuff World, but I use Green Stuff World. Fluorescent pigment, and then mix it in with speed paint medium. You get some fun stuff. Death Guard all wrapped up now, working Guilliman. Is that Spottiest Death Guard? Speaking of Death Guard, or totally not Death Guard. There we go. Right, be very careful around here because there's some delicate sections there. I'll pick up some of the speed paint medium and then give it a go. So I had some fluorescent paints. Dude, I did a whole YouTube video about it. It's really cool. You get some vibrant stuff. Have I got the orcs? Where are the orcs? Do I have the orcs? Are they here? I've got them somewhere. Yeah! I'll show you my two favourite because oh damn D bright. So this is the yellow and the pink. But so that's one coat with Green Stuff World fluorescent yellow and pink mixed in with speed paint medium over white. Yeah, they blow out. I mean, and the camera, I mean, you can see that it's blowing out the exposure. You don't understand how vibrant these are in real life. They're crazy. So yeah. Yeah, no, the camera can't handle it. It manages okay on the YouTube channel, on the YouTube video. Go check. But your crazy vibrant OSL Death Guard reminded me. I'll be using that because I've got a couple of too much. I've got a couple of cyberpunky type models that I want to do soon. And that kind of paint would be really nice for like OSL and sign effects and yeah, they're really vibrant. But absolutely digging your the green OSL. For anyone who doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about, go and check out Brannigan's Brushes over on Instagram and on Twitch as well. You may think when you tune in to their live stream, they're like, well, I'm just watching Alchemist again. What's up with this? Is there two channels? No. We are just that similar. Glad you like them, big man. Really enjoyed those fellas. Going to be doing a bit of OSL on Bobby G. Bobby G. I feel every time I see Guilliman being known as referred to as Bobby G. You need a gold chain around his gold chain, some sovereign rings on the gauntlets, Burberry cap backwards. Hey, Pillow, how's it going? Still pissed my mum. Yeah, we are so similar on camera that Brannigan's own mother confused us. It was a good time. Much hilarity. And I'll be seeing Brannigan next month. Oh my god. Well, like in 2 months, but you know, technically next month, because it's GriffCon. Guys, tickets to GriffCon are up for sale. I don't have any more details on my painting workshop yet, as in like which day it will be and how much tickets, but I will get that very, very soon. But yeah, GriffCon tickets are live. So if you're able to get to the southeast of the UK, buy your tickets and come and say hi. Velreth, hello! A giant clock around his neck? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely do that. Please do this. And I've got so much stuff that I need to do and prep for GriffCon. So much stuff. So many displays. Oh no. Right, okay, so that's the overall dry brush that kind of hits pretty much everything. But we're going to go back in a minute. I'll do the head, and then we'll go back in a second and exaggerate the sections that we want the light to hit. Especially since the armor panels, I'm going to be working from a very kind of light beige color, so these need to go much brighter with this undercoat. I'm really enjoying. I mean, it's essentially slap chop. I think it's slap chop with extra stages, but it's essentially slap chop, and it's very, very enjoyable. I'll go in and paint the actual face. He's got a mask on, but you can see the top of his face, and we'll paint that with white to really get some rich tones when we put the speed paints over, because otherwise it will get lost. I keep saying it, if you haven't got makeup brushes to do dry brushing, are you even painting? Well, you probably are, but use use makeup brushes for dry brushing. It's really, really good. Get a little brighter around the face, around those edges. Build that up quite nicely. There we go. Right. So we're going to work in circular motions to build up the highlight area of the armor, make that a little brighter. And there's going to be lots of weathering. This style of paint job that we're going to be doing is very reminiscent to the Death Guard that I did for Spotty a Shark, which is the same client that Brannigan's been working for. Well, this very light armor, pre-heresy kind of armor, if you're going to liken them to Death Guard. And then you wash it down and weather it in and make it all rusty and diseased. So we're going to be adding some of that rust effect that I absolutely love, and then we're going to be throwing in some oxide. Neolac? Neolac? Oh, I can't remember how you pronounce it. This stuff here. Neolac. Yeah, let's say that. Let's say that word. So circular motions. I'm not too worried about it looking like dusty, that dusty look that you get with dry brushing, because that just adds more texture into the model, and I'm okay with it. So I'm really enjoying this kind of artificial texture that you can get with dry brushing. It doesn't work with every model, but for a lot of things, I feel like it adds depth to the miniature. So we're going to go quite bright on the tips of these horns, these bones. So when we actually put the speed paints over and start blending in darker tones towards the base, you'll get a natural progression. And go around the back and do the same. Bran, what else are you doing at GriffCon? Can you say? Can you say in public forum? So I know you're coming to help me out on the stall, but you're also doing something else, right? Okay. Is that pretty much right? We're going to lighten this shoulder pad. Helping you? Actually, don't know. I volunteered to do some announcement. I haven't really heard anything from them. Right, okay. I think they were getting various other events out of the way first. Excuse me. And then they'll focus on the rest of GriffCon. You can be the voice of the heavens announcing everyone's events. If you could put some little extra effort into anything referring to Alchemist models, then I'll make it worth your while. Not that we encourage favoritism or anything like that. Okay. I think that's kind of where we're at, I reckon. And then we're going to put a little bit more, which conveniently uses up the rest of that paint. I got you, boo, so spooning in the hotel room. I mean, that was a given. A given, sir. I'm going to be really... You'll probably get there before me, because I'm coming straight from a wedding. So... You're probably going to get there before me, and I will be tired by the time I get there. Okay, right. I think we'll put a little extra flat white paint on the skin tone, and then we can start throwing some colour at. Who you marry? No, it's one of my cousin's weddings. Alright, where's that white paint? No, it's gonna be fun. 2-day GriffCon. Whoop whoop. Second day, finish GriffCon, pack up, immediately drive home with a 6-hour drive. It's gonna be a long day or a long weekend. Right. Let's use that brush. Short brush. Sure. Keep you motivated. Thanks, boo. Okay, so we'll do it on the upper part of the face, and I believe this neck here, that's flesh, so we'll do that as well. And we'll go into the eyes as well, there's no point in of leaving that because we'll manually put the shading in when we come to the face. Go. So there is a full version of this model as well, which I was tempted to paint. Well, I will be printing up at some point. I'll paint it, but I wanted to do the bust because the busts don't actually have render. Or this one had a render, but the Red Prince one didn't. So I was like, I'll just print both of them. Why not? Oh yeah, no, Bran, I'll definitely be leaning on you for motivation, buddy. Or at least energy. I reckon it's going to get to about midday on the second day of GriffCon, and I'll be flagging. So. Okay. Just want to make that a little bit more of an even coat with the white. Doesn't matter if there's a little. It's a little patchy because skin tones. It's all different. Okay. So I think that's the basis done essentially. All right, that's where we're working from. So we'll put the head to one side, and we'll start with the armor. I'm just going to go live on the TikToks. Nothing perks you up like a quick cheek clap. That can be read in so many ways. Oh, right. What am I doing? Oh, yeah. Okay. Howling Sand. We're going to start with Howling Sand? Yeah, I think Howling Sand's a good shout for this. Alright. Go live. So, all the trim will be a kind of bronzy gold colour that we'll use the oxide to bring down. But we'll do the armour first. And I want to go over all of the main panels with this Howling Sand, which usually I reserve for bases, but I think it will work quite well on this. So we're going to try it. I'm going to try it down here first, and this is going to be where it's darker, so you won't see it as much. And I don't necessarily want it like I don't want the armor a beige color. I just want a hint of off-white, which I think that Howling Sand does quite well. All of these first coats will look quite muted, and it's going to be when we start putting the weathering in, it's when it's going to start coming to life. So it'll be interesting to see. Now, with this method, because you want those shadows to remain, you don't want to put too much on the brush, because then your shadows become saturated with the colour, and that's kind of what you don't want to do. So you're working against what speed paints and contrasts are designed to do, in a way. We're just using them as a filter at the moment. Hi TikTok. Yes, hello everyone on TikTok. Just join. Is this Slapchop? Yes, this is essentially Slapchop. Yeah. Yes, sure. Let's call it Slapchop. I think it's probably the closest to me doing Slapchop. Bran, have you slap-chopped before? Have you chopped your slap before? I just had to mentally say that. I had to say that in my head, but before it came out, just in case it was a little bit dirty. Excuse me? You are squeezed, sir. So we might do a second layer of this just to bring out the colour of the armour a little bit. I have slapped the chop before, yes. Good, 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 good. What was it on? I like the idea that this armour is almost alive as well. Welcome in everyone on TikTok. How you doing today? Hope you've had a lovely week. You did it on Marine. Fancy, fancy Marine guy over there. Look at him. So yeah, we'll do a second coat and bring out the colour a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see what the speed paint metallics look like over this kind of technique. Because they usually have very, very good coverage. Oh, thank you very much for the likes over on TikTok. Much appreciated. If you want a slightly better camera angle and quality, then head over to the YouTube channel, where I am live also. Let's head around the back here. I think you can achieve quite subtle tones with Slap Chop, as long as you don't go overboard. Okay. So for those of you who just joined, hello, welcome in, happy Friday. I'm currently painting Real the Descended Bust, which is available on my website, alchemistmodels.com. You can find links. If you're on YouTube, you can find a direct link to the product in the description. If you're on TikTok, then you can find the link to my website. It's in the new releases section on my website. Is that... should we say that's armour? Yes, let's say that's armour. Warhammer paints. These aren't Citadel paints. These ones are Army Painter. This is the Speed Paint 2.0 range. And the paint that I'm using right now is called Howling Sand, which I usually use on bases, my post-apocalyptic bases, and you can see a video of that whole method and a breakdown on YouTube. It's one of the, I think that's the first tutorial I did with those bases. I think, possibly. I can't remember whether that was before or after the Ultramarine. Unfortunately, because of all of the stuff with the workshop and expanding the print room, making YouTube content, apart from the lives, has, well, even with the lives actually, has really taken a hit. So I hope to get back to that very soon. Dream big, build small. Good morning. How are you? Welcome in. If anyone has any questions, whether it's on YouTube or TikTok, about the methods that I'm using, please don't be afraid to ask, and I will do my best to answer. For this method, I'm using the black undercoat that we started with as a guide to where I want my shadows. And I want these two faces on the shoulder pads, I want to not look like flesh, but definitely want to make them look alive. So this armor is living and breathing and tormented. So we're going to employ a lot of the techniques that I usually use on faces normally. So we're going to put in some greens and some purples, and we'll just make them bruised and have a bit more depth to them, a bit more personality. That's the plan anyway. I don't want too much colour in the recesses, but we still want that black to shine through. I'm not too worried about the deep recesses around the armour though, because that's going to be gone over with kind of rust effects and everything like that later down the line. As soon as that starts to dry, we'll just do a second coat in the more prominent areas where I want a bit more colour. This is very, very early days, and this is definitely not going to be a model that we finish in one session. This is going to take at least 3 to get the whole thing where I want it. And we're going to be using lots of very thin layers as filters, building the colour up and building those blends up using speed paints. It's also a kind of experiment to how far I can push the speed paints with Slap Chop and how much I can blend them. Is there a limit to their use? So this is painting a product for the website, but also having a little bit of a play around with the technique, exploring new ideas. A little bit more colour on this shoulder pad now that it's dried out a little bit. Definitely needed some chill out music today. Way. If I miss any sections that have gone too light in the recesses, it's not the end of the world, because we can just go over them later on with the dark shades. Thank you very much for all the likes over on TikTok, much appreciated. Every like, every share, every follow really does help push the content out to new people, so it is certainly appreciated. Okay, let's just build it up a little bit around the ribs and the lower sections. Okay, after this...
Oh, it's a treat time! Yay!
Who's that? He's had one. He's had one, Danny. He's had a treat. I know, I said the word. I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry. So, he's done very well in the treat department recently. Oh, thank you very much for the follows. Like I said, if you want to see what I'm working on in a slightly better view, better quality, then head over to my YouTube channel, where I'm streaming at the moment. I'll Just add a little bit of colour into the back section here. A lot of this will be covered by the head, but let's just give it a little bit of tone. And then take up to anything that is too much in the recesses. Okay. And we'll just dive over and we'll do the mask in the same way. Go. I mean, just looking very, very blown out on the camera, but it won't as soon as we start putting some skin tones in there, which we won't do yet because we need that to dry. Okay, so that's the basis of the Howling Sand. That's where we're starting from. Now I want to put some. I want to go straight in with the metallics actually, and. Do I go bronze or gold? Ooh, Aztec gold? Aztec gold would be cool. I don't think bronze would work though. Copper? Copper would be cool. Let's go copper, because that would help with the oxidization as well. There we go. Let's really mix that up because this has been sitting here for a while. Okay. Let's just try this on a section that around the back, just in case it doesn't work. That's very red. I don't like that. I don't like that. I want to go gold. I want to go gold. I think that copper really needs like a proper shake up, so I don't think it's all there. So what we're going to use, the gold's really good, and it will be shaded down. Maybe the Aztec gold because it's got a bit of green in it. Let's do Aztec gold. Let's give that a go. Try light jade color. There will be some greens going into this in the shading section. But this gold has got a bit of a green tint to it, which is really nice. I'm fairly confident that I want this colour, so let's do that. Yeah, that's better. It kind of goes with the tone of the armour that we've done already. Aztec gold, what a paint! Absolutely love this type. Absolutely love this color. Possibly my favorite metallic next to the Vallejo Chrome. Sure that it's. I'm trying to make sure the model's on two cameras at the same time, and they're both at different angles. I think with this base, this plinth, I'm just going to dry brush it a kind of bronzy colour. I think, and then throw some oxidization in there as well. Never used that. Always use Retribution. Oh, Retributor Gold. Yeah. Would highly recommend having a look at the Aztec Gold. This is the stuff. Speed Paint 2.0 Aztec Gold, and it looks green on the bottle, but it's not. It's that color. It's really nice, especially when you start throwing some extra shades over them. And these speed paints cover incredibly well. The metallics do. I'll do the under sections on some parts, but not all, because some of it is just going to get painted black at the cut-off points. So with a lot of these sections, because of the pigment of the paint, we are just doing one pass, and it's just enough. I've just got to be very careful not to get it on any of the inner armour that we've already painted, because it will cover it in no time at all. And once you've got metallic paint on a model, it's very hard to get it off without leaving some of the metallic flecks in there. So even if you manage to get rid of the colour, the metal pigment might still be there. Mike the Shiny Mew, thank you very much for the subscribing over on YouTube. Much appreciated. Hello, welcome in. Like I said earlier, in regards to YouTube, because I've been working on getting the shop up to date, content creation has taken a bit of a back step, but it is only because there is not enough hours in the day to do everything that I want to right now. I still have lots of things planned. I've got half edited videos ready to kind of be finished. And lots of ideas. I just need the time to do it. So once the shop is kind of up and fully running, it's there. It's just I have so many more products that I want to put on there. There we go. Shiny Mew Paints from Discord. Ah, okay. Welcome in, Shiny. Thank you very much for the support over on YouTube. Much appreciated. So this gold trim's really starting to stand out now as we work our way up the torso. Really looking forward to how it looked like on the shoulder pads. We've got, I don't want to call them nipples, but they're very obviously placed, so just gonna paint them gold. Danny, what are you working on at the moment? Or what's everyone working on? What's everyone's projects at the moment? Okay, that was weird. OBS disconnected. I assume that I'm still streaming? I think I am. Okay, we're good. It wasn't the mic, thankfully. Weirdly, OBS just decided to stop for a second. Yeah, Danny, you said you were painting the Leviathan Terminators. You said they weren't great? Oh, your internet also went a bit weird there? Look, we're already twins. Let's not have the same internet. That's just really weird. I will do that chain in a slightly different colour. I think we'll use broadsword silver for that. Plastic seems brittle and crumbles while gluey. crumbly plastic. That's new. Ooh, that should be the Howling Sand colour. Yeah, that's new. That's really weird. Not great. Can work around it, but never seen this. But no, that's very strange. I haven't come across that. I've got some Leviathan Tyranids, and I don't remember anything being crumbly. I don't know whether it was a different mixture or a different plastic they were working with. I don't know. Just working on that. Oh, yeah. Okay, the one that you put the... What I'm assuming is a 3D print? It looked like a 3D print. That was a very cool design. Don't know, the other sprue I worked on was fine, so who knows. Oh yeah, maybe it was just a weird batch. The plastic wasn't completely mixed properly. Okay. I do not know what to call this part, apart from... I can't even say that because I'm streaming on TikTok, and if you say anything mildly suggestive, even if it's not even suggestive, then TikTok gets in a real state of annoyance. Bran, if you haven't already and you're looking at picking up some speed paint medium, have a look at the Aztec gold paint as well. By Meshbrain Minis. Yes, yeah. I remember you saying in the Discord. Yeah, that's really nice sculpt. That kind of over the top mental orc design. Very careful. Try not to go. I've already gone over a little bit, but I'm trying not to go over onto the Howling Sand. Usually, when I do this style of painting, I just go, if you just go over, it's not a problem. You can just touch up with white. But because we're dry brushing, you don't have that same luxury. So we're being a little bit more careful. Go. I'll do a little bit of the under armor here, but most of that's going to be massive shadow anyway. I'm going to be using making liberal use of things like Cygor Brown, Darkwood, Rattling Grime. Garagax Sewer as well, actually. Garagax Sewer would be really useful for this model. So that's the downside to this gold paint covering so well, is it's covering the black a little bit too well. So we're going to have to go back and manually put in some of this shading afterwards. But that's not a problem. So that's that section done. Do I want that to be the bone colour? Yes, I do. And then probably the same. We'll do the kind of back ornament in this gold as well. Thank you very much for the follows and the likes over on TikTok. Hope you're all having a lovely day. Arnold Schwarzenegger of orcs, it really is. Is it like a giant, what's it in 40k? Are they tank hammers? The hammer, like sledgehammer with a rocket on it. Is that what it's holding? I always love that idea. How do we make a sledgehammer more orc-like? I just strap a rocket to it. Yeah? Alright. We'll go back and do the underside in a second. Okay. I'm tempted to do these bones rather than the bone color because that would be too similar to the armor. I kind of want to do them black. I kind of want to do black bones. What do we think? So otherwise, I think it would just. Everything would blend in a little bit too much. Make them radioactive green? Ooh! Ooh! I kind of dig that idea. Okay. Oh, I don't have the fluorescent... I don't have the fluorescent pigment, but I could use... Hexwraith Flame, maybe? Or what? Tesseract Green with some shading down at the base? That would be cool. That would be very cool. Okay, alright, yeah, I'm in. Yeah, radioactive bones, I'm in. Absolutely, 100%. I think we're going to go Tesseract Green and then shading at the... Oh, shading at the tips. And have lighter colours at the base. So they're glowing. Ooh, Danny striking gold there. The top tier idea. See, Danny, I do listen to you. Every now and again, I listen to you. And that gives me an excuse to do some glow effects as well, so yeah, alright. Alright, okay, alright, yeah, alright, fine. So while this gold does mean the bone is going to be one of the last things that we do. That's okay. Because you're always right? Well, let's not get carried away there, buddy. Okay. Just need a bit more howling sand. I think that's done with the gold. I don't think there's any on the helmet, on that mask. So, where's the howling sand? There's the howling sand. No worries, Danny. I'm assuming you are working away. So we'll just put a little bit of this howling sand colour around the armour here. Thank you very much for all the follows and likes over on TikTok. Much appreciated. How are we all doing today? Right, so we're going to put that to one side for a second and let it dry. And we're going to throw some skin tone onto the face here. And we're going to start with Peachy Flesh, I think. Very careful not to get this too much on the mask, if at all. Well, this skin tone is going to look very clean to start with, but it will not be like that in the future. And also, it means at least you'll be able to see. Ah, no, it's bled over onto the mask. Speed paints are very, very thin, so they bleed into other colours very easily. Although it's not awful for that mask, that's kind of where the shading was going to go anyway. So, yeah, alright, fine. Okay. Put that to one side. Yeah, I need to decide on a colour. I think like a really dark purpley blue for the hood. Or the shawl, or whatever you want to call it. Let's put some silver. Some broadsword silver on that chain. And then I think we can start, because we're not going to do the bones now until quite late. We can start washing and start weathering. Most of this paint scheme is going to be washing and weathering once we've established the main colours. I might do the shawl colour next, actually. Okay, that's just given us a hint of silver onto that chain. Is there anything else like that on this model? I don't think there is. Okay. Okay, what model is this? It looks incredible. This is the Real Descended bust, available on my website, alchemistmodels.com. You'll find it in the new releases section. There's this one, and then there's the Red Prince, which is this one here, which I'll be painting up at some point on stream. Okay. I think we're going to start throwing in some shading. No, we'll put the... We're going to use a paint that I haven't actually used that much, called Occultist... No, sorry, Cloudburst Blue, which is dark blue. Oh, do I use the blackish blue, Tyrian Navy? Yeah, I can't use Tyrian Navy. I really like this color. I really like this paint. This is one of my favourite colours. I don't use it that much, but it is one of my favourite colours. Yeah, that's the right call. That's the right call. This paint is perfect if you're painting any jeans, like denim. It is, if you do it over like straight white, Just a flat white colour. It is perfect for jeans. Bran, this is another one I'd recommend. I'm going to just like throw paint recommendations at you left, right and centre here. So we'll dry brush some highlights onto this later down the line and send the shadows almost black. So we're going to end up with quite a high contrast paint job by the end of this. Which is helped along by the fact that we are slap chopping, or we slap chop the model to begin with. Very carefully on the inside. Put some colour, but we'll probably go in with a black to shade it down. You wouldn't even see it when the face is in place on the model. Not necessarily. Some of it will, but not much of it. There we go. Yeah, it's a really nice deep colour. I want to only run so deep at the moment. Reach out to them, see if I can pull some strings. I've been trying that for years. I'd wait a little bit. Actually, no, you might be okay now because Fnatic. I reached out just before they released Fnatic, and they were like, "Yeah, we'd love to send you some stuff, but just hold off." And then I contacted them again, and I haven't heard anything back. So, no idea, no idea. But yes, definitely these two. They are very, very useful paints. They're the paints that you're like, oh, what do I do? What do I do with this model? Throw this on it, and then some shade, and then you're good. Happy, happy day. Right. Okay. Let's start. Oh, do I go straight with the grime? No, I want to go Garagak Sewer. Yeah, I think grime is like a watered down grime is going to be afterwards. No, let's put some tone into into these faces on the shoulder pads, and then we can start blending it in using the browns. So we're going to use brownish decay. Brownish decay? Yeah. And we're going to start blending in. Where's my blending brush? There it is. I'm going to keep our brush nice and wet. And before it dries, I'm going to go in and just ease out those transitions. Making sure that we don't have any ugly blending marks. Using our finger just to take the worst off the top. Use this on all of the recesses around the face, and then we can go in afterwards and start putting in the colours, like the purples and the greens. essentially using it as a watered down wash at the moment. But just catching it before it starts running. Go. You just don't want to make sure. You want to make sure that the paint isn't too wet when you go back and start blending. Your brush isn't too wet, because otherwise the paint will pick up with the moisture and get carried away, and that's when it will start blending from, it will start running from where you put it into undesirable places. Also got to be mindful of how you hold your model, because that dictates where the paint is going to run. So you can see there's a couple of tide marks that we can ease those out with other paints, but you can see the before and then the after. A little bit more around the nose, or where the nose should be. Make that a little darker. And take the most of it off with our finger. And just go around all these raised sections and disease marks, and put the shading around there, ease it out around the edges, and then just take our finger . And then we take this same... do we do that on this bit? No, I'm kind of okay with just using it on the skin tone at the moment. I was debating on going into the recesses, but I think we're going to use a different paint for that. So, we're going to just ease that blend out, because there's a horrible line there. Go really dark in some of the sections. Something I've learned in my kind of painting journey is don't worry about being perfect blends, because that's just not my style. And I think there was a post with figuratively speaking miniatures and Roman Lappa that they were saying, and this is very much paraphrased, they were saying that sometimes it's nice to see the fact that the model is painted rather than looks like it's been digitally painted. It's so like the blends are so clean, but sometimes it's nice to see not the mistakes, but I don't know how to word this. It's nice to see the artist's impact on the model and the fact that it's not perfectly blended. Almost gives it a little bit more personality, I think. There'll be others that disagree, but there we go. Right, so we'll do the same thing over on this side. And there'll be some people out there, I know there are some people out there who are going, oh, if it's not perfect blend, it's just your excuse for not being good. And to those people, I point at the door and say, that's where you can go. Because it ain't you painting the model. You can paint however you like. And that's when people ask me, how do you get involved, like how do you get started, have you got any advice? And I've given this piece of advice out many times. Have you got any advice starting this hobby? Don't listen to other people's criticism if it's not wanted or wasn't asked for. There is no right or wrong way of doing this hobby, or any hobby really. Artistic one, from an artist's point of view. You can't do art wrong. And I do thoroughly believe that this is art. This classes as art. This is classed, sorry, as art. It's been a long week. My English is going out the window. A little bit more paint, a little bit more brownish decay. So yeah, I will put it around the recesses actually, because it is quite useful. This is almost, in a way, like painting with watercolours. Not that I've had extensive experience painting with watercolours, but painting with washes and that kind of style, letting the paint flow into the recesses. Kind of being mindful of how the paint reacts on the surface. I've got a couple of ugly tide marks there. Scrape that away a little bit, and then some more in the recesses here. Nice. Okay, so that's the first section. I think we're going to do that on the rest of the armor as well, but on here, that's when we're going to start playing around with some different tones. So while we've got this paint, we might as well do the rest of the armor. And we're kind of almost stippling it in, and then I'm using my finger to take it off the worst of the highlights, or the highest of the highlights, not the worst of the highlights. Make sure that the paint is wet enough. Berserk! Hey, Berserk! Going well, mate. Long week, but going well. How are you? So we're going to put a little bit more under this section, because that's going to be where a lot of the shadow is, and then blend it out towards the front of the ribcage. A little bit more paint on the palette. So it's 20, but it's coming up to 20 past 5. That means we've got 10 minutes left over on TikTok. But I will keep streaming on YouTube, so TikTok, in 10 minutes or so, if you want to continue watching the stream, then head over to my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. And you'll also have a better view anyway. better quality camera. Now we've got to make sure that this shading doesn't look too much like the gold that we've put down, because it is starting to blend in. We'll put, I mean, when we do the shading with the gold, we're going to be putting blues and turquoises into it. So that's fine. Ill, unsure if hay fever or another ill. Oh no, you were doing fine until then. I was waiting until hay fever started hitting people. It hasn't really hit me this year. Now that I've said that, it will. Well, you can see the before and after on the left and right there. Very excited to give the suggestion that Danny Player One gave us for all the bones. They are going to go bright green, like nuclear radioactive green. Very excited to give that a go. We've got a slight kind of John Blanche-esque tone to this, that kind of really mucky beige look. Berserk, how are the sharks coming on, the Carcharodons? Have you managed to work on them at all? Okay, I'm just going to throw some of the shading around here. We don't have to be too careful about that. Maybe around the top we'll, because most of that's going to be hidden by the head itself when it's in place. And then we'll put some shading around the back. But this can be quite dark in itself. Thank you very much for all the follows and likes over on TikTok. Been procrastinated on sharks. We'll get round to them soon. Yes, I'm looking forward to what you do with the stuff I printed for you. Cygnus, what model is this? This is Real the Descended. This is a bust available on alchemistmodels.com. You can find a link to it, or a link to the shop, at least, in my bio. It's in the new releases section. You can also find, if you follow the go into the Parasite Collectibles section, that's who sculpted this, you can find a full version of it as well. Right, I'm just going to go around quickly with a second coat into the deeper recesses. What's the full model? It's Real the Descended. So if you have a look on my website, alchemistmodels.com, it will be in the Parasite Collectibles section. Ugachaka, hey, how's it going? Cygnus, love watching people paint, so calming and insightful. I'm starting painting with Warhammer. Hey, welcome to the hobby. Always nice to have new people join. What are you starting with? Is it Space Marines? Or are you going for Warhammer 40k or Age of Sigmar? Okay. Start putting a little bit more shading into those recessed areas. So we've got the tone down. Starting with the Tau Empire, good choice. Only got a few Crisis mech suits, but they're pretty cool. Yeah, if you're a fan of like Gundam and big old mech robots and things like that, then Tower's great. The design on their range is fantastic, and the new Kroots just came out, and they sorely needed an update, but they've come out with some really nice models. What's the paint recipe for that sickly white green on the pauldrons? What, on this on the actual shoulder pads themselves? So this was we slap chopped it, so we sprayed it black, dry brushed white, a little heavier on the shoulder pads, and then we started with Howling Sand from Army Painter. This is all speed paints as well. All of this is speed paints. So Howling Sand, and then we used Brownish Decay. Was it Brownish Decay? Yes, it was Brownish Decay. To water down and then putting it into the recesses and then start wiping it off with your finger. You can see it a lot better on YouTube. It's a little blown out on the TikTok camera. Shading into my recess earlier this morning. Yeah, on what? On what? Cygnus, yeah, I love Gundam, Evangelion, so I thought they would be good. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Great choice. Looks similar to Aztec Gold. Oh, right, sorry. On the actual gold colour, yes, it is Aztec Gold. Yes. Sorry, the actual metallic is Aztec Gold from Speed Paint because I love it. Love that paint. Okay. I think... that's good. It's really nice for the armor is really coming along nicely. That kind of skin tone, that kind of off bone color. So we're going to start throwing around some more kind of characterful fleshy colors. Because I want these shoulder pads, if you weren't here earlier, to almost look like they're alive. So we're going to work in a little bit of purple. And we're going to use, what are we going to use for that? We're going to Moonlight Coral, maybe? Strong reddish purple? Yeah, we're going to water down some of that. Thank you very much for the gift, Sugachaka. Thank you, much appreciated. Right, we're coming up on 5:30, so that means I will be stopping the TikTok stream any second. If you want to continue watching my content, then please come over to the YouTube channel. That's where I'm also live. That's where I put a lot of my content. You can find the link in my bio. And I will continue painting this for another half an hour or so. But if not, thank you very much for swinging by. And I hope to be live again on Monday. So have a lovely weekend. Right. I'm going to water this down quite a lot because it is very strong. I'm going to put it into the recesses around the nose and eyes. And for this we really want to make sure that you don't have those ugly water lines. So, but we don't want to make sure... We want to make sure that the brush isn't too wet. I think... do I do... No, it's very tempting to do like glowy green eyes. I don't think I will. I think that will go overboard with the green that's gonna radiate quite literally off the bones. Also, one last thing before I go, TikTok. If you are in or able to get to the southeast of England in late July, that is when GriffCon is, and I will be at GriffCon with a stall, and I'll also be doing painting workshops, or a painting workshop, sorry. So tickets are available if you go to the GriffCon website. You can pick them up, and if you are going, then make sure you say hi to me. Swing by the stall during the 2 days that it's on. It's double day this year. But it is past now, so TikTok, I bid you farewell. And if you don't come over to YouTube, then I'll see you on Monday. Have a good one. Bye. Right, let's move that out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. And now, YouTube, you have my undivided attention. There we go. So we're going to throw some green into... We will also throw some green, but it's not going to be like vibrant green. I might just dry brush this with a bone colour just to bring up the sections that have gone too hard in with the pink. That's kind of what I meant about having a little extra colour in there. It looks really vibrant on camera. It's not actually that vibrant in real life. A little bit of a diseased tone around these holes. Okay, and we'll flip it over and do the same on this side. A little bit more paint. What was it? It was Moonlight Coral, wasn't it? Yeah, there we go. Making sure that we're just going to wipe off those really harsh bits. Our finger. And if it's looking too strong, we'll just go in and water it down a little bit. In sections we want it quite bright, or well, at least strong in the recesses, but in other sections it's really, really subtle. I'd really like to paint some kind of... I might get the Dark Souls, because I've got the Dark Souls board game. I might get the models out of that and do this kind of style of paint job on them. I've been wanting to paint them for ages. I've just got so many other things that I need to kind of paint for work. But this style would really suit Dark Souls and Elden Ring. And I've almost bought the Dark Souls art book. I don't even play the game, but I love the art style. And I found a copy on Vinted. I'd love to get. I'd love the Elden Ring art books. I think there's two volumes of them. That kind of dark gothic horror. Speaking of dark gothic horror, if anyone's looking for a to make a table, a gaming table in the kind of style of, it would be great for Mordheim. I will have a very, very cool commercial license coming up very soon for prints. I don't actually. I say soon. I don't think I'll get it until I think December, because it's quite a large project. But some gorgeous, gorgeous buildings. Very well thought out campaign. It's a little bit more pink on the left than the right, but that's okay. I think I prefer this side actually. So we'll go back and put just strengthen it a little bit on the on this side. We'll put some green in here in a second as well. Cool. Yeah, really, really liking that. Alright, we're going to put that to one side for a second, but I'm really liking how that's coming on so far. And we're going to dive over to the head. And while we've got this brownish decay that's kind of still wet, it's still usable, we're going to throw it on the mask. Work it in a little bit more in the recesses. Brownish decay is a fantastic shade colour. Okay, and that skin is way, way too healthy looking. So we're going to shade it down with. We're going to use warrior skin. We're going to shade it down with. We're going to use the same technique pretty much all over, just with different colours, layering stuff in. Towards the end of the paint job, I might go in and just do a couple of really, really subtle manual highlights, but I'm not usually a massive fan of doing that. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. A little bit more shade underneath there. We'll be going in with some pinks and purples and greens to really mess with the skin tone. Okay. Just swap over because that is way too wet now. Okay, I think now that that's because we're working with quite thin washers right now, that's already dried on the shoulders. So we're going to go in with some greens. Now I think something like maggot skin is going to be too similar to what we've got. So I want to go a little bit darker. Maybe something like algae green, light olive green. I reckon that's probably a good bet. Because we don't want it the same colour as the violently green horns that are going to happen. And the bones. But we do want a tone of green. I'm going to put it pretty much in a similar place to where the pink is. Maybe a little bit more haphazard way. It almost blends into the same colour as the gold. And put it around the edges of wherever it looks infected. It just adds another layer of colour in there. Gives us some variation into this living skin. Or decaying skin, really. A little bit more down here. Looking a little too clean. And this is where we're going to start putting it around the edges, into the recesses where the armour meets the skin. Try not to get too much on the actual armour itself. But yeah, something like that. And it looks very similar in tone to the trim, the armor trim, but we're going to throw in the oxide paint and some rust. Rust is really actually going to push this more than the oxide paint, I think. Again, round the infected areas. We're using our finger a little less than before. But we'll still use it if we need it. A tiny bit left on, a tiny bit more paint. We're not using a lot at all in this process because it's so watered down. And we're not trying to match the other side. Not too worried about perfect symmetry. Like I said, these shoulder pads are alive, so they're constantly changing. They shouldn't look the same. Maybe a little bit around here. And it's okay with the kind of the tide marks to a degree with this. Again, because it's organic. within reason. I might put some do some manual veins or something like that. But okay, cool, right. Really liking how this is turning out, actually. Alright, that is still, you can get a general sense of it. Do I dare start putting rust on now? What's the time? 15 minutes? Yeah, we could do some rust now. Rust or oxide? I think oxide would be there'll be too much green and blue. We need something. We need something else. So we're going to go rust. Oh, do I put a bit of shade into the gold? I kind of don't think it needs it. It's kind of shaded itself. And I think with the rust that'll help. So this is my usual go-to rust, which is Inktense Oxide. And we're going to use this brush? Yeah, sure, this brush. I'll just start putting in all the recesses, or a lot of the recesses. Around any rivets. Wherever rust would form. Don't want to go too overboard with this. Okay. OBS is reconnecting again. Apparently, internet is interesting today. So as I was saying, it kind of helps to have a brush that kind of splays out, that doesn't keep a point when you're doing things like this, because it helps with that element of randomness. So you can see before over on this side and after with the rust. I might add in a different tone of rust as well. Go over. Go in maybe with Gore-Grunter Fur, which is slightly darker orange, or darker brown, sorry, orangey brown. You've got to boning. Dear Lord. Dear Lord Berserk. You know this is a Christian Minecraft server. It's always nice at the end of a week to do a nice chill out painting stream. This is actually the first time I've painted since last stream. So I've just been that busy, I haven't really stopped to do any painting, whether it's for myself or for the channel. Christians don't have Minecraft servers, don't joke. It's very true. It's very true. Nice. I don't know what it is about busts. I really enjoy painting. Maybe it's because it's like the hint of the character, the hint of the whole you know, whole personality. Or maybe it's because I feel like you can get more personality across in a bust than you can necessarily in a whole piece. You're not worrying about the base or anything like that. You can just focus your attention on certain parts. There we go. It's a little bit too much around there, but that's fine. There we go. I think that's all of the metal work. Oh no, we've got this massive icon up here. It's tempting to put some oxidization in as well, the nihilic oxide. What do we think, chap? Do both? So, going to see a friend in London tomorrow. Came from Germany. Asked if there was anywhere else I need to show them. I said Hamleys. Hamleys is a good shout. Depends where else you're going, and depends what else you want to do. But yeah, Hamley, the Lego floor in Hamleys, definitely. I always say like Camden Market, the stables at Camden Market. Do some good food if nothing else. I reckon we're gonna, I'm gonna throw some oxide in this because then it will separate it from the that skin color. I'm gonna throw that in there. Small bits of oxidization would work. Too much might ruin it. Yeah, so we won't. Should we use that brush? Yeah, we'll use that brush. Camden Market is where I'm tempted to drag them for food, though Jubilee... Jollibee has high list of my... Oh, if you want somewhere good... Speaking from an ex-meat eater, go to Bodine's, which I think there's two. There's one at Tower Hill. That's the only one I know there is. It's just around the corner. It's like a 5-minute walk from Tower Hill tube station. Jollibee. Oh, Jollibee. Okay, go Bodine's. If you're fancying something like barbecue, Bodine's, and get the burnt ends and fries at Bodine's. You can't. I don't think you can reserve a table. Bodine. No, it's Bodeans. Bodine's. Oh, that's not actually. Is that right? Yeah, sure. So we need a little bit of oxidization. Tiniest amount. Yeah. It's kind of like it's almost like an American sports bar in a way, but it's quite small. Don't go during like the lunch rush, or I don't even know if they're open for lunch. They might be. Check it out though. Highly recommend. First place in the Camden Market years ago that had best cheeseburgers in the city. Really? Okay. Yeah, Camden Market. I've only been to Camden Market, like the stables, once in recent memory, and that was after I became vegetarian. So like a lot of the food that was being shoved in my face, I'm like, oh, that looks really good. I can't eat it. Yeah, a little bit of oxidization just picks the metal out from the skin color, adding that little hint of blue. Put a little bit around there. Oh, it closed down too. Oh, what they couldn't open up afterwards. They just didn't survive. That's a shame. A little bit. Let's put a little bit round. A little bit more round here. A little bit more in the recesses, because the oxide paint really does tone down, goes quite transparent when it dries, so you need to top it up a little bit afterwards. Yeah, a lot of places just didn't survive after the pandemic, did they? Real shame. Right. Yeah, that's helped. That's helped. Right, we'll do a little bit around the top section here. Mainly on these joints. In the center. And around the back. Hey, Shiny! We've come to 6 o'clock, so I'm going to finish the oxide here and then we will call it a day. Because someone needs feeding. Don't you, dog? But from a first part painting, I am very, very happy with how this has come on. Right, let's just have a look. Let's have a look with the head attached, actually. Let's just take it off the blue tack. So that's where we're at so far. Yeah, happy with that. Really happy with how that armor's turning out. I mean, the armor is almost... I'd say the armor's almost done. Maybe this is just going to be 2 streams. We're going to do a lot of work on the face to bring that out. And we'll shade more black into this. I want this shawl to almost be black with that hint of blue. And then violently green bones. I really like the idea of like irradiated bones coming out of the armor. That's very, very cool. So there we go. Okay. That is Real the Descended bust. As you finish, I also finish a model. Hey, Antiff, how's it going? What were you working on? That's Real the Descended, the bust model that is available on my web store as we speak. The link to it directly is down in the description below, or so you can find it in the new releases section or the Parasite collectibles section. Mountain Cow Leader Proxy. Ooh, okay. Make sure you put it in the Discord. I'll have a look. So yeah, it looks like we'll probably finish this model Friday. Actually, I reckon we could do it in a day, another stream. But for 2 hours work, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Madfist, thank you very much. And thank you very much to everyone who's come and hung out. So, as I said, I've been catching up and sorting out the 3D print workshop. Production capabilities have quite literally doubled. I'm going to be powering the new printers up and testing them over the weekend. And then as of Monday, I should be able to run 8 printers at the same time, which is going to make backlog a thing of the past, which is going to be amazing. It might mean even that I can bring down my production time in regards to dispatching, which would be very, very cool. Right now I asked for about 10 working days. I might be able to bring that down slightly. I'm not sure. But yeah, so if you've enjoyed the content there and you're not already, then please subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends who you think who might enjoy it. I'm going to, as soon as the shop is kind of up and running a little bit more, I'll be back on the painting tutorials. We'll look at doing like proper tutorials in depth of what I've done and looking at skin tones and working with speed paints and contrasts and that style of painting. But yeah, I think that's it. So I will be back live on Monday, 4 p.m. until 6 UK time. And have a lovely weekend. Bye, guys. Have a good one.